at the dinner, Dina, it looked like you were running around the table just to get away from Danielle. It looked like you were scared of Danielle at the dinner.
No, absolutely not. I was running to be by Teresa when she was upset, because she's my friend, and I felt like this was all my fault. It was directed towards me. So if you see, I was petting her and calming her down. And then when Teresa calmed down and then Caroline got upset, I ran to my sister to be by her side.
You just saw that final episode and didn't care for it.
I was mortified.
Why?
Because my mother's going to see that. And my mother doesn't deserve that. We're good people, and there is so much love between us. My mother's going to see me say to her, look what you did to my parents. And when you saw it, you started crying.
I just, like, her emotions were very intense.
My mother doesn't deserve this, and I stand by what I said. We did nothing wrong. Anybody would have the same reaction we had. We did not investigate you. We did not go to the town of Franklin Lakes and say, hear ye, hear ye. Do not make me that villain, because I won't buy it.
It was a wild dinner to watch, and one of the things that was so shocking to me was that, Jacqueline, you broke from your sisters, and you stood by your friend. And what did that do to all of your relationship?
Obviously it was very tense, but I was hearing something different that night. They were talking about the salon, like her bringing the book to the salon. I was not there to say what happened in the salon. What I was hearing was that she was claiming to have nothing to do with the book when I knew she had something to do with the book. I thought she was denying the whole...
She misunderstood.
I thought she was denying I had nothing to do with it. My hands never touched the book. And when I heard my hands never touched the book, I was like, what?
But
yes,
I physically, like, we sat and it was red.
She touched the book.
I never had it in my
Let's not get so literal.
Yeah, she touched the book.
It was like
they voted on telling Teresa I had voted against it, but then when we all got together, we all talked about it.
Which I'm glad they told me.
Yeah,
she's
she's
like, why
glad.
did you vote not
She
telling
wanted
me?
to know, but like I had originally had voted against it.
But when I
was
said
like,
I never had that book, I literally meant like it was never in my possession. It wasn't my car. How can I show everybody when it was never mine?
that's what I was hearing when all the chaos was going on, was her denying the whole situation, and that's what enraged me, because I was like, what?
But if you look at the footage, I was saying I had everything to do with it, but I was not the one putting it around.
What was the conversation in your car on the way home with you and your kids?
I had to be driven home, actually. I had a slight nervous breakdown after that.
And what did you tell your kids about that night? I mean, what do you say to your kids?
We slept together for quite a few nights. I don't know how to tell anybody to get your children through that. It's just a personal decision. You have to do what you feel is right at the time, and we're all about hugs and cuddling. And it felt like a rainstorm, like a thunder and lightning storm, so we cranked the television as if there's lightning and thunder going on outside, and we cuddled up together, and we sort of made it like a movie.
Caroline, on the show you said that you were the one that showed the book to your sisters.
Dina came up to me at the Brownstone. She said, our niece was told, and I hate to tell you this, by one of your friends from your town, about the book.
First of all, it sounded a lot worse.
Okay.
It was a book written about you, which is not true.
Not
You were
what
a
she claims to
paragraph.
be, and we were like, what? We investigated the book together. We Googled it together. Okay, we found out the contents of the book together on the internet.
Within minutes. We were all at this party.
I went to the library and I got the book. We read it together.
I did not know we found it out together because you came to me and told me.
Yeah,
I just
2 seconds after I found out.
I did not know you knew the same night. I knew when we were at your house and we were like checking out the book, but I knew that you told me
that night. You were at the
5-minute
desk with us.
period. We were all at the Brownstone.
It was within
looking
a
at the
half
computer.
hour, 40 minutes.
That's
one boom,
whether
boom.
maybe you didn't know we just found out 20 minutes before,
Right,
but we did.
We found out that night.
I didn't know
and
that.
then I went and I got the
I
book.
just knew you told me. That's all.
I went and I got the
And
book.
you wouldn't tell me who you heard it
Of
from.
course,
Because I
we
didn't want
wanted
to
to
sell my niece out.
You know, so we got the book. I went to the library. I picked it up. We came back. I called Dina. I called Jacqueline. They came to my house. We read the book, and we were like, "Oh my God!" After reading what I read in that book, and
This was afterwards?
Nobody, yes,
Yeah. Okay.
there is nobody in their right mind
What you
that
meant by
would look at
investigate is
that
going
book
to the library and getting
just pass it off as like hearsay. You know.
See, to me, it looks like it was
It
you
was
were going to
after
investigate me prior to the book.
I disliked you
Silly.
prior to the book. When I found the book, I disliked you even more, and I lost any kind of faith or trust, anything I had in you. Okay? And I needed to know for our safety, for the safety of our children, who you were. How can anybody fault any of us for that? How could you sit there and look at us and say, how dare you? Because if the shoe were on the other foot, you would certainly do the same thing.
If the shoe were on the other foot, you would have done a lot more with that book than we did.
Danielle, you thought Caroline was covering up for one of her sisters.
For Dina.
For Dina.
Yeah.
I went to the salon. Dina was at the salon.
I was getting my hair shampooed.
She was getting her hair shampooed. And they asked me, did you hear about, I don't know how they found out. And I said, yes. At the time, barely knew you, didn't like you. And I was like, just be careful, because I don't know what's going on.
Why? Because they have children too?
No, it was 3 people
They have a
also.
dog.
It was 3 people.
They don't have the right to know.
I think that they have.
They asked me. They are my friends. They have a right to know.
Why would they ask you that?
They asked me.
Why would they ask you?
I don't know.
Swirling around town.
It was swirling around town.
Because you're in
How
the
did it get
spotlight
in
now.
town?
How did
If
it get
these
to
people
us?
were my friends, and they must have known about it then for a very long time, why all of a sudden, ironically,
No,
when I'm
you're-
taping a
you're-
show
you're
with
Wayne-
you ladies, that they all of
Can
a
I-
sudden I'm in
no, no,
Franklin
let me
Lakes
ask a
and they're
question.
asking
Your
about
Wayne
me.
friends knew about
Yeah.
this. You admitted that before yourself. You told them after 5 years or so.
Yes.
So now you're in the
That
spotlight.
person, that
No,
person
I
did
am
not
telling
know.
you, it was your Wayne friends.
So now you're in the spotlight. You're filming this show. They know you're involved with us. Now people are all talking.
Yes.
Now the book that was dead is coming alive again. It's not our
And it
fault.
was a question of, do you know who you're filming with?
Yeah.
Do you know who you're working with? At that dinner, I said, if you don't believe me, I will meet you tomorrow. And I will go to you, with you, to them, and I will allow them to tell you themselves that it was me.
Yeah, and you know why I didn't
And you
show
didn't
up?
show up.
No, you know why?
Why?
Because I called them and spoke to them on the phone.
I was
and
there
I
when you
told
called.
them. I know. They
I was
told
there.
me you were there. It was
Yeah.
Joe I spoke to.